Hello everyone, today we're going to be talking about the AP Royal Oak dual time and kind of how it differs from what our traditional sense of like a GMT watch is. Like I said, today's video is going to be about the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak dual time. It's going to be the 26120 ST. It's a 39mm watch that comes in a stainless steel case with a 50-meter water resistance. It does have a screw down crown, but of course the selling feature of this particular watch is going to be the movement and how it kind of performs, and we can use it in our day-to-day life. Now, it has a JLC based movement inside of it that has, 33 joules, beats at 28.8, and it also has a 38-hour power reserve. Now, normally, I do gravitate towards watches that'll have a higher power reserve, even though it's an automatic watch, so it's going to last substantially longer as long as you're wearing the watch. I do like to just not have to think about it as often of the need to wind my watch. Now, coming in at 38, of course, if you're wearing the watch, it's going to last longer than that. But Audemars Piguet actually put a power reserve meter, a full, complication right up here on the dial for us. It's going to be near like the 10 o'clock in the top left of the dial. But it starts out at the bottom where it's red, and as you wind the watch, it runs up through the white hash marks and then, will eventually stop inside the full range up here where it's white. Now, to me, that's a huge feature of a watch, to be able to just look down and see, I've got a date just on. I wound it before, I put the watch on. So of course I know right now it's going to be working, but if I take it off tonight and I wake up, it should be working, and the same thing should happen every day. But I don't really want to have to check my watch for accuracy. I don't want to have to put on my watch and immediately turn to a reference clock to see, hey, did I wind it enough yesterday? Is it gonna keep accurate time? With this one, you just look at the dial and it'll tell you. If it still has power reserve, it's still gonna be keeping its accurate time. And it's something that you can just put right back on your wrist, and just whenever it starts getting low, just kind of beef it up. Now, of course, I said that it's a dual time, so it does have the ability to track two different time zones at once. Now, in a GMT, we generally have like just a second hand that operates from that central, pinion, the portion right in the middle of the dial, where like the larger hands would be for, just telling the time. Now, on this one, they actually have a separate subdial that has a full 12-hour clock on it, and of course, it has the minutes and the hours. Now, off to the left of it, closer to like 7 o'clock, you'll notice there's a smaller little, almost looks like a Pokeball. I mean, it's just black on the bottom, white on the top, and it has this small little hand that's red tip that just rotates around. That's going to be an AM/PM indicator that's specifically associated with your smaller, dual time zone. So you're not going to want to look at the AM/PM indicator, for the big hands, but as you adjust this dual time, which is a very simple process, something that you can do just from the crown itself, but it is going to only manipulate, with the bottom dial. Now, obviously, I said it's a screw down crown, so when you unscrew it, the first thing that's going to happen is that you're going to be in the winding position. And when you pull the watch out, when you pull the crown out one click, you're going to be in what is the adjustment for the dual time. And the way that it works is not like when you're actually adjusting the time on the main timekeeping function, where you're adjusting the minutes and the hours go with it. When you adjust the dual time, you're only changing the hour. So you don't have to worry about making sure that the minute hands are lined up. They will stay consistent. But as you rotate the crown, it jumps in 1 hour increments, to indicate, a change in the time zone. And as you rotate, you'll notice that the AM/PM indicator also changes. So it's a pretty on the fly, change. It's something where I know here we are calling clients, all over the country, some of them in Hawaii, some of them in Alaska. And I always have to check to make sure that, I'm not calling too early in the morning. And so obviously I can do a quick little calculation, in my head, but I could also just set my watch, set the second dual time, time zone to what a Hawaii time would be. And when I look down and it's past like a calling hour, I don't even have to worry about it. It makes it so much easier to communicate with other humans when you already know what time zone they're going to be in. Now, of course, there is another subdial on this watch. It's going to be up here in like the 2 o'clock area. This is going to be the date. So of course it does have 1 through 31, and you just adjust that by going around using the crown. It's a very simple adjustment. Obviously, it's a Royal Oak, so it has the iconic bracelet on it. It's a very comfortable fit if you've never worn one, but know that you can always get a strap for these watches. You're not restricted to just having the bracelet, so you can even, it would allow you the opportunity to also basically have 2 watches. I mean, I know it's technically the same watch, but when you change your bracelet to a strap, it completely changes the overall feel and look of the piece, and ultimately gives you more versatility without having to add a whole bunch of watches to your collection. Come check it out at SwissWatchExpo. If you want this specific watch, you can search dual time. You could also search by the stock number. This one is 38384. Again, that's 38384 or 38,384. But you can just type that in the search bar at SwissWatchExpo.com. It'll take you straight to this watch. If the Royal Oak is not your kind of style, do know that if you're interested in the movement, you can also find it in the Jewels Audemars collection. Thank you guys so much. And if you want to hear some more about other watches, just shoot us an email or send us a message on one of the channels, and we'd be happy to look into it and get you the information you're looking for.